My team is a team of superstars, right? My team is the team that goes above and beyond. My team is the team that does the work. Why? Because we scared the crap out of them when we were hiring them. Hey, this is Iman Agay, serial entrepreneur, international best-selling author, and international public speaker. And today I have this question that I get quite regularly every day, pretty much from people that's like, when do you start hiring people to your team and what's your hiring process? So as I've shared this with you in my other videos, and probably you know this if you have worked with us as one of our students and clients in different programs we have, you know that I have one of the most amazing teams on the planet, a team of superstars, rock stars that make a huge difference in people's lives, right? So when do we actually start hiring team members and how do we hire them? So one of the things is like, first of all, when do we hire? When do we hire? Generally, I have a simple rule of thumb. I hire as soon as I can. And the reason I hire is because I want to get rid of the tasks that I'm not amazing at, and I know that I have other people that can do those tasks a lot better. Now, as you know, I bootstrap most of my businesses and don't invest a lot of money in them. So it's really hard to actually go and hire right away, especially when the company is starting from zero. In my 7-figure businesses, obviously we can hire easily. In 6-figure, like mid-6-figure companies, we can hire easily. But then in a company that I'm starting from scratch, like I don't want to spend a lot of money in them, that's kind of hard. So one of the things is that I also, I actually shared this in another video that we had in another episode, that many times I actually hire based on the values that we are giving to people, which is more than the money you pay, right? I said that the value that our team members get is far more than the money they get paid, is the training, is the education, is being part of the team, is part of being a forward-thinking group of people, and we serve and support them to actually get there. Now, one of the things that I also do, I always hire entrepreneurs. Now, interesting thing, I was talking to another person who is very successful in his business, and he was saying he never hires entrepreneurs. He said, I always hire employees, I don't hire entrepreneurs. Now, I'm all the way the other way around. I never hire employees, I don't hire employee mindset people, I hire entrepreneurs. Now, the reason that I hire entrepreneurs, like there are different people, right? And both of them are great, but like different companies have different values and different purposes. But I want to hire creative people that are risk takers and want to expand and grow their own business and their own life, right? And the reason I do that is because I believe wholeheartedly I cannot build an entrepreneurial company, I cannot build an entrepreneurial academy on the shoulders of people who don't have a business, right? If I want to have an entrepreneurial academy to train entrepreneurs, then my team members should be entrepreneurs, should own their own business, right? And as a result of that, one of the things that our students get, our team members get, is that they get access to a lot of our training. Now, when I was just getting started, I also did the exact same thing. For example, back then, we had events, seminars, conferences, and stuff. I was brand new, but then I would give people the opportunity to learn and bring their own creativity and work with us on expanding their knowledge and message and give them access to, you know, extra training and stuff that we would have. And by at that time, I didn't have a big name, right? But still, people wanted to learn from me on the things that I wanted to do. And so I would train education for the services they were doing. So I would get them as a volunteer, and then as a volunteer, I would give them the training in return. And as the companies would expand, we would have more money, and then we could actually pay them, right? So there are lots of things there involved, and you know, it's very easy to sit there and think, oh, but you could do it, I can't. There was absolutely nothing I had extra than you have right now. I didn't have any name, I didn't have a lot of expertise, I just had the will to actually go out there and get the team members. And yes, I did a lot of work that I didn't want to do, and yes, I worked extra hours that I didn't want to work, but then at the end of the day, I started building the team, and building the teams helped me to expand the business. Now, you get to the place that you kind of have the budget. By the way, I say kind of have the budget because you never quite have the budget to hire team members. Usually the first person I hire is a marketing manager or marketing coordinator. The reason for that is because I want any role that I hire be able to pay for their own role, right? So we hire a JV manager as one of the first people, or a marketing manager, Because if I bring a salesperson or a marketing manager, marketing coordinator, they're charging like we're paying them $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month, then they can generate like $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, right? So I want every person on the team actually make their own salary. That's one of our requirements, that every team member should make their own salary. So that's where we take it from there. And with this, for example, like we start with hiring people who can actually make their own salary instead of hiring customer support and stuff like that. However, if I find that customer support or stuff that kind of don't make a lot of money is taking so much of my time that I can't make money, then I hire those tasks, those responsibilities, so I can actually go ahead and make more money on my own extra time, right? Lots of times you can actually hire people like at the very beginning, very beginning. You don't need to hire local people. You can hire people on Upwork, or you can hire people on freelancer.com, or you can get people from Philippines, like go to onlinejobs.ph and hire Filipino employees, which you can just kind of like for a online Filipino employee, you can pay like $600 a month for a full-time person and just kind of get good expertise and stuff like that. And then as the time passes, you can kind of bring your team local and like do local stuff. So there are lots of ways to actually do this, right? So it's not like, hey, you have to always like kind of go and get the most expensive team members. But the hiring process is actually one of the most important part, and we have actually a very hard hiring process. In fact, as one of the things I do in the company is we don't interview to hire, we interview to repel. Literally. In the first few interviews that we have in the company, we usually do about 5 to 7 interviews for the team members we want to hire. If you're bringing in a volunteer on board, we do about 4 to 5 interviews. If we are bringing a paid employee, we do about 5 to 7 interviews. And usually the way that I do interview is I actually interview to repel. So the first interview, we call it a match interview. And this is an interview with me most of the times, or with their direct manager, whomever is gonna be the direct manager of the person. And I get on the phone and I make up the weirdest, hardest, most confusing stories of the worst days and the hardest days of our business, right? Like for example, I make an example as an event day, as a regular day. Now, an event days, we work from 5 a.m. all the way to like 11 a.m. or midnight, right? So when I got on the phone with them on the match interview, I tell them like, hey, just so you know, there's a match interview, and on this call, I just want to understand that you are a good match for us and we are a good match for you. I want to make sure that like the type of our employment works for you, the type of our team works for you, everything. Is that good? They're like, yeah, absolutely. And then I tell them a little bit about our job. I say, okay, so let me tell you a little bit about our company. Have you done research about our company? They say no. That's a little bit kind of like right there. If they say no, I'm like, okay, do you have time to actually research? So in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, that's a really bad thing. That if you get on the phone to interview me, to be in an interview with me, and you don't even know who we are, right? You might as well have taken the time to actually even research, see who we are, what we are doing, right? But after that, we're like, okay, so let me tell you a little bit about ourselves. And I tell them a little bit about the company, but I want to repel them. I want to scare them, right? Why? Because I want superstars. I want superstars. I don't want people who get scared. I want people who go above and beyond, because that's the type of work that we do. And I tell them, it's like, okay, so one of the things about my team is that my team goes above and beyond. We do extra work. We do things that no other companies is willing to do. And my team members are always there with me and do extra work. And for example, like when we have events, our event setup team goes down the stairs at 5 a.m. We start setting up. We start the registration at 7:30 a.m. At 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. we do the registration, and then do blah, 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 blah. And I just kind of talk about like this is the weirdest, hardest day. And then at the end I say like, do you have any problem with working like that? And then if they say, you know what, that's crazy, like, no, I don't want to work like that. And I'm like, okay, thank you very much. I totally understand it. This is not a work for everybody. And I really appreciate the fact that you told me that you don't want, right? And I've been told like by some people that, they were going through the interview and they're like, oh, you tell me you're looking for a slave. I'm like, you know what? It's just the reality of the events, and if too much work for you, I totally understand. That's why we are doing this interview, and I'm just kind of being honest with you and just kind of telling you up front. Now, do those events really happen like that? Not really, like not most days. Do they happen sometime? Yes. A few months back, I was at an event where just kind of set up the event at 7 a.m. People started coming at 8 a.m. The event started at 9 a.m. and we went all the way to 9 p.m. And then at 9 p.m., one of our students actually asked me something, and I needed to answer her. So I went upstairs from 9 a.m. and I had my assistant with me, and I asked her, I said, can you work with me? Like, I gotta work and I need your support. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. My team is a team of superstars, right? My team is the team that goes above and beyond. My team is the team that does the work. Why? Because we scared the crap out of them when we were hiring them. So they expect to actually do the work when it's needed. She's like, yeah, absolutely. Let's do the work, right? We worked together till 1:30 a.m. that night. We slept at 1:30 a.m. We woke up, and she said she's gonna sleep in because she was like very tired. And I said, and she's like, do you mind if I come downstairs at 8:30? And I was like, no, not at all. Thank you very much. So we slept. I woke up at around 8 a.m. and she was already in the room, working downstairs in the event room. You do realize how ahead of me she was, right? And that's the beauty of the team members. They are forward-thinking, positive thinkers. They are the type of people that are willing to go above and beyond and do the things that gets us results. So the first thing I do is I scare the crap out of them in the first interview, and the ones that needed to be weeded out and are not willing to do the work just kind of disappear. So now I'm left with a group of superstars. Now that we have this group of superstars, now this interview, by the way, I don't ask them a lot about their hard skills, meaning that, like, do you know how to do this? Do you know how to do that? I don't ask them any questions in this interview. I just want to repel them. Repel the ones that actually are not superstars, are not willing to do the extra work, right? Then I asked them about their employment and stuff. And on that first interview, I asked them about their salary expectations, right? A lot of people say don't ask people about their salary expectation on the first call, ask them on the last call. I don't do that. I ask them from the salary expectations from the first call, because if their salary expectations is so out of our range that we're not going to even pay for them, be able to pay them, I don't have any reason to just do another 7 interviews with this person till at the end I realize, oh, I can't pay this person, right? There is also other reason. We had time that, for example, when we were hiring one of our team members, we interviewed one person, and at the beginning we asked her what's her salary expectation, and she said she wants $40,000. Then she went to the second interview with one of my team members, and to that interview she said $40,000. And then when she hung up, she sent him a message and she said that she wants $50,000. Right there, that's a red flag. That's a huge red flag for me. It's like, okay, you gotta kind of know your worth. You gotta know what you want to actually charge, right? You can't go from $40,000 to $50,000. That's 25% increase of your salary expectation in a matter of a day, right? So this is what are you thinking here? Is right? And that shows me the person has is not stable, right? And when the person is not stable, that's okay, we don't want to bring unstable people on the team, because that's going to make an impact in the way that we are actually communicating with the team. We are communicating, we can rely on people on the long term, right? Now, on the second call, we usually ask them about the future, what their goals are and stuff like that. We ask them about their hard skills. And then we connect them to the third interview, and the third interview usually is with the person who is doing that task. Now, if it's me who is doing that task, they're going to do the third interview again with me. If it's another person that they're doing that task, they're going to do that task, doing that interview with them. And on that interview, we go deep on the hard skills. Okay? Now, here's the thing. We usually have 2 or 3 people are interviewing these people, and then after the 3 interviews that we do, we get on the phone the 3 people who interviewed this person, we get on the phone and we compare our notes. We compare our notes, you know? It's like, okay, so tell me, like this person said that they have family issues, and they said that they have family issues because their kid has this issue. Why did they tell you they have family issues? Oh, they told me they have family issues because of this other reason. Oh, there's a discrepancy between what they told me and what they told you. Let's look at why they quit this job. They quit this job. What was the reason they told you about quitting the job? Oh, it was this reason. Oh, I have the same reason. Okay, that sounds good. You know, my feeling was that they are actually looking for this in their career. What was your feeling? Oh, I feel like they were looking for this other thing. Oh, seriously, interesting, because they told me something else. So we compare notes, and what we're looking for is discrepancies. And the feeling is like, how did you feel about this person, right? Is this person a stable person? Is this person telling the truth? Is this person hiding stuff? Does this person have the skills? Do I feel that they can actually do the things they are supposed to do, right? And we compare the notes and we start rating them from 1 to 10 based on the interview. So it's like, okay, so the ones that we want to enter, like the one that has higher scores, we give them 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 5, right? And then we go back and we're like, okay, so let's interview our top 3. Right? So if we have 3 9s, then we're going to interview the 3 9s for 3 more interviews. And on those ones, we actually get on the phone and we start having conversations. One of the things, for example, when I was hiring my assistants, I actually tried to go out with every single one of them. So I went to their cities, believe me or not, I went actually to their cities and had lunch with them, right? I sat with them, sit together with them. It's just kind of like that was one of my meetings. I was like, okay, this person is coming on board as my assistant. I want to make sure that I'm actually comfortable with them representing me in different business settings, right? I'm comfortable with them, right? These are the things that other companies don't do. These are the things that nobody does, right? And so they come to me and they ask me, like, how do you hire superstars? We hire superstars because, number one, we care the hell out of every single one of my team members. We care about them. We care about them. We invest on them heavily, financially, emotionally, education-wise, and we train them. We make sure that they are the type of people that we want to work with. We make sure that they are the superstars that are staying behind. Like, I can't get a non-superstar, make them superstar if they don't have the attitude of a superstar. If they're not willing to go above and beyond, we're not going to be able to actually make them go above and beyond, right? So we repel them right away at the beginning to make sure that we only keep the best of the best of the best. And that's how we actually get the best of the best and the best. And when we get the best, that's the time that we go in, invest on them, work with them, make sure that they get the best results. Now, here's one last thing. On average, at this day and age, every team member stays with you for 3 to 5 years. Why? Because on average, people change their careers every 3 to 5 years. Not their jobs, their careers. They have a complete career shift every 3 to 5 years. So I know when I hire a team member, most likely that team member is going to stay with me for 3 to 5 years. And what I want is to help them within 3 to 5 years, they get to the place that when they leave my company, they can build a massively successful business. I want my team members graduate from my company. I don't want to fire them. I want them to graduate from the company, to go and build a massively successful business for themselves. Sometimes people ask me, they're like, Iman, seriously? You spend so much time and energy in having the team members that are going to go start their own business. Why would you do that? And I tell them, because if I don't, the employees are going to leave me in 3 to 5 years anyhow. So might as well I get a group of people who are success-minded, entrepreneurial mindset, and learn the best, and I can give them the most amount of value so my team members can graduate and start their own business. If you grasp all of these concepts, you see why at every single one of my companies, we have a team of superstars running the companies. Okay? So let's get started from here. obviously have a complete course on the hiring and firing process and stuff like that, but that's part of my mastermind and higher end programs. So if you are listening to this episode on a podcast, make sure that you subscribe on the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. If you are looking at this, watching this on Instagram or Facebook, make sure that you actually follow us on Instagram and Facebook and turn on your notifications when we post this stuff. And if you have not downloaded our book on imanagai.com to actually learn how to build a successful public speaking business, make sure that you go to imanagai.com, download our book, and let's take it from there and let us help you to build a successful business. Looking forward to hearing you, to talking to you at the next episode.